I'm back today with another market update with Invest Like Mike. Today my focus, cryptocurrencies. What we're going to do today is we're going to go over the charts for Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're going to look at the long-term charts. One other thing to mention here, I do have a podcast coming out this week with Benj Gallender. This is his book, The Contrarian Investors 13 by Benj Gallender. Please check out that book. You can go to his website, contratheherd.com, and he'll even do a personalized autograph for you. So check that out, and that podcast will be out this week. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to flip over to the charts, and we're going to dive deep into Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, we're going to start with the chart of Bitcoin, but before we get started, just a reminder to hit that subscribe button on my YouTube channel, Invest Like Mike on YouTube. Click the subscribe button and click the little bell here, and you can get all of your notifications. Also, check out the website, investlikemike.com. I have the podcast page, and tomorrow or the next day, I'll be launching the Benj Gallender podcast. It'll be right here at the top. Okay, so let's get going with the chart here. Long-term chart of Bitcoin. We're going to go over Ethereum as well. And basically, I want to kind of line up my reasoning. Why did Mike sell near the top at around, I think I got out right around here. So I got out kind of in this region right there. Why did I sell when I was so bullish on the way up? So let's go over that, and we'll take a look at a long-term chart here. So if we zoom out a little bit, I was holding all through this period, and I kept holding. Even when it dropped, I held longer. And the reason why that was is because we had inflation still in place, going higher. We had big money printing along the way, and all of the factors that were making it go up were still in place, including cheap interest rates. So what changed right here? Let's zoom in a little closer here. So if you go look at the timing here, if you look at the bottom, in November, Jerome Powell, started saying that he was going to raise interest rates in the United States. In December, then he said, we're going to pause, right? We're going to wait and see what happens with Omicron. Once it came into the new year, what he said was, we are going to raise rates. It's back on track, and we're going to raise them between 5 and 8 times throughout 2022, okay? So all of the things that were in place before, lots of money printing and cheap rates, were gone. Money printing, no more. Cheap rates, going higher. So because the circumstances changed, I ended up bailing out on my position in and around this range. And when I did end up getting out, it went a lot lower. So since then, we've had a bounce, and it's still come lower. So why do I think that it might still go lower? Well, when we're looking at it over here, during the bullish movement, it was kind of going up in a certain range here. And we've literally broken below that range. Okay, so if inflation was carrying us higher in that range, maybe we're going to do a new range, and it's going to go quite a bit lower before it goes higher in the future. And one of the reasons why I think that as well, if I go to a weekly chart here and I zoom out a little bit, that's what happened last time as well, right? So it went up to some ridiculous number, then it peaked, and it came down, and it eventually came higher. I just think that the distance from here to here, from one rally to the next rally, I think will be shorter, and I think that maybe we can recoup and go on a rally a little bit sooner. But it could be between 1 and 2 years away, folks. Not gonna lie. Inflation and the rate hikes will continue, and I think right now that this should head to or below this moving average over here, and it'll probably settle somewhere between 15 and 20,000. We'll have to see. But I think any bounce will probably be sold at this point. So let's go look at the Ethereum chart. Look at it here. And if we zoom out here, you'll see the same type of a thing. And the last time we had one of these big movements up, it had a corrective period, and then it went up later again. So that's kind of how I'm treating this right now. Obviously, if something changes and they announce spot ETFs and the government's embracing cryptos more, then it can rally sooner than, you know, the 2018 through 20 period. Maybe it doesn't take 2 years, right? Maybe it's just a year or 8 months. We'll have to see. But for right now, what I'm seeing is that we kind of did a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside kind of a movement. And typically, in a bull market, the 5 waves are to the upside and the 3 waves are to the downside. Now it's the opposite. I'm seeing kind of a 5-wave movement, and then to the upside is only a 3-wave movement, which means this is probably 1, 2, and we're gonna go 3, 4, 5 again. I really do think these are gonna go lower, and I think the chart is showing us that. Just in case you're wondering what I'm talking about there, let's go look here. And you can see here that there's these kind of movements where when it's going to the upside, kind of goes in 5 pieces, and then to the downside, 3, because we are in a bull market back here in 2020 and 2021. You know, when it went up here, it kind of did a, let me look here, get rid of these here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So again, confirming that we're in a bull market. Now the next piece here should have been 1, 2, 3, just like over here, 1, 2, 3. That's a bull market, okay? What happened this time? It didn't do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's doing the 1, 2, 3 now to the upside, okay? So the strong 5-wave moves are now to the downside, and the weak 3-wave moves are to the upside. That is the reverse of during a bull market. So that's my reasoning for it. We'll see what happens. Again, if something happens with the spot ETF or some other kind of news, but these moving averages, the 50 and the 200, they are pointing down. They were pointing up over here during the bull market, okay? So this is gonna be a figuring out period and maybe even a lower drop in a bull market, in my opinion, and that's my reasoning for it. I hope you enjoyed that chart analysis. I love doing that. One of the main things is I do like Bitcoin. I was in early and I actually exited earlier this year. That doesn't mean I don't like Bitcoin anymore. What it means is I'm following the market cycles of Bitcoin. We'll see you on the next one.